there, Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bosk's Bounty video. And in this video, we're going to be checking out this awesome 3D printed Death Star 2 elevator and bridge diorama, which you can currently see that I've got set up with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker there. And we're also going to be opening up this Darth Vader from the latest wave of vintage collection. Of course, we have had this Vader already in the 3-pack, but I did promise you guys that I would be reviewing this figure, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do it with this awesome diorama, which, full transparency, has been sent to me by a guy called Pete, who has his own eBay store called 3D Pete, which I will leave a link in the description below so you can check out all of his awesome work. I am always a little bit nervous about 3D printed stuff because in the main you kind of have to paint them yourselves, and I am rubbish at that sort of thing. But judging by some of 3D Pete's work, a lot of it actually gets printed in various different colours with reds, blacks, greys, whites. So you can actually get stuff pretty much ready-made, which is perfect for me because, as I said, I'm pretty awful when it comes to like painting things and things like that. And as you can see, I do have a light behind the elevator piece of this diorama, so it's nicely lighting up these white panels here and also the red area of the elevator, which I think is flipping awesome. It really does make it when you put lights behind these 3D printed items. And as you can see, I've got Vader there fighting with Luke on the bridge. But if you didn't want to do that and you wanted to sort of have like a different scene going on, maybe where we have some royal guards at the entrance like so, and then of course on the other end of the scene you could have, you know, your Emperor on his throne. Maybe you have Vader walking in with Luke as he presents him to the Emperor. You know, you can do pretty much whatever scene you want with this diorama. I quite like the one that I had it set up initially, where you've got Vader fighting with Luke. And also, if you see these pieces here, you can actually get a broken railing. So these railings do come out, and you can actually put the broken railing in there so you can have it exactly at the point where Luke takes off Vader's arm with his lightsaber and damages the railing. So you can have sort of Vader crumpled up in the corner there, looking pretty pathetic at that point, without the arm and the broken railing. But for the moment, I've got it with the, you know, normal railing. And as I say, if we just take these guys away, and then we put Vader back there, you know, with Luke battling away like so, I think that looks pretty awesome. But we'll just remove them quickly because I just want to show you some of the details of the 3D printed diorama. So as you can see, the light is coming through from that piece there. And if we just pick up that piece just so we can see a closer up look at it, I will get rid of the light though, otherwise we're going to be blinded. All right, so we've turned the light off. Now with most 3D printed things, they do come in parts, so it's up to you whether you want to glue some of it together or keep it separate. And for the purposes of this video, I have not glued anything at all. So all the railings are removable. The floor does come apart if you wanted it to, so you can just see there it comes apart, and underneath here it would come apart, but it is actually being held together with those railings there, so you can just see how they're sort of put together. The cardboard pieces there of the Death Star shaft are there. These pieces here are separate pieces as well, and as you can see, this is not paint. This has been printed in sort of like silver, which is pretty good. So, you know, as I mentioned, if I had to paint these myself, that would not be cool at all. So the fact that they've been printed like that is awesome. And as you can see with this one as well, it's the same. You've got like this sort of silver printed piece on top, at least that's what I think it is as well. It's printed like that. And if we take this main piece away like there, you can just see underneath, these two pieces here are again separate, and the railings are separate. And here's the lift. You can see it lighting up there, and it's pretty awesome. And this piece is a separate piece, the lift piece. So if you wanted it without the lift door, I guess you could. Not too sure why you would want to do that, but if we just remove that piece there and take a closer up look at this piece here. So just on the back there, you can see there is a red printed panel in there, and this is just the piece that slides in and out of that lift piece there. So that is flipping awesome. Look at the way the light comes through. That is absolutely awesome. And then on the front of here, or the back rather, you can see you've got these like white panels. And again, these are printed panels here, which just go over those gaps just to bring that light through. We've got a printed piece there and a printed piece there. And again, those are printed. They are not painted. They are printed pieces of plastic. And some of the detail on some of his other work, which hopefully I will be able to show you in the future, is a lot more intricate than this in terms of the way he has it printed and what it can do these days. So yeah, that's flipping awesome, that. And as I said, that just literally slides back into place like so. That's pretty awesome. So you can kind of see how that works now, and as I say, it is all printed in various different pieces, and it's up to you what you glue and what you don't. But if you want to move it around, essentially you don't really want to be gluing too much of it, but I think that looks pretty awesome. And when I showed my son this, he said something pretty modern. He said, that looks sick. And I agree with him. It did look sick. So now we're going to open up this Vader and check him out. Here's the card back. Awesome, because of course you can sort of recreate this with these like barrel cylinder type things here. You can have Vader sort of leaning up against those after he has thrown the Emperor down the shaft there. Or you could have Vader sort of lifting the Emperor up and, you know, chucking him down there, as it were. We'll just open this one up in a second, but let's just check out the card back. Absolutely awesome image there. Darth Vader, Emperor's Wrath, and then it's VC385 on the back of the card there. Vintage Collection logo. So yeah, we're just going to open this guy up and check him out and see what he looks like in the diorama. So here's Darth Vader in the tray. So essentially this figure is basically the same as this figure in terms of you get the swappable chopped off hand, you get the lightsaber, you get the lightsaber hilt. The difference is with this one is that you get the lightning effects, and you also get the sort of lightning affected helmet, if you like, with the translucent helmet, and you can see the sort of skull of Vader in there, or Anakin if you like. So as I say, this one's going to be a good one if you wanted to sort of have him sort of leaning up against there, where he's sort of lying there and he's kind of got the lightning still running around his body a little bit. Or as I said, maybe you could have him sort of standing there lifting the Emperor up as he's about to chuck him down. You know, with Luke laying down there sort of still injured and what have you. That would be pretty cool as well, with all of this going on in the background. I think I might turn the light back on as well so we can get that nice glow coming through on the lift there. So yeah, we'll get this figure out, check him out quickly, and then yeah, we'll get him into position. So here's the figure close up. There you can see the sort of translucent helmet there. You can see that kind of skull going on inside. If you want to check out a sort of more detailed review, check out my review of the 3-pack where we go into a bit more detail about this figure. But I just thought it'd be quite a good video to open this figure for, you know, as we are reviewing this awesome 3D printed diorama of the lift and the bridge of the Death Star 2, the Emperor's Throne Room. Pretty cool. And as I mentioned, 3DP has a lot of other stuff on his eBay store, and not all of it is from the Death Star or Death Star related, although quite a bit of it is, because that is always a really good thing that you can 3D print. You know, a lot of it is just grey colours. There's not much painting involved. But there's one bit with the sort of Death Star control room from Star Wars A New Hope, you know, where Luke and Han Solo are still in their Stormtrooper disguises and they're arguing about saving the princess and what have you. All of that is like 3D printed. I'll whack a picture of it up on the screen there. All of it is 3D printed in reds and whites and silvers. There's no painting involved, and that is just absolutely perfect for me. I really do not like or enjoy painting things particularly. So when things come ready-made like this, then yeah, I'm all for it. And, you know, I don't really think that Hasbro are going to make anything like this anytime soon. So this is going to go really nicely with the sort of throne room set that we got, even though that was pretty basic. But, you know, we do have the Emperor with his throne. So yeah, it's all going to go pretty nicely together. So there is Vader. Let's get him into position and see what we can do. All right then, so very quickly there, you can see what I've done. I've put Luke laying on the ground, and then we've got Vader lifting up the Emperor whilst all this lightning effect is going on around him, caused by obviously the Emperor's lightning hands. I do apologise, I could only find one of the hands, and I even think that might be Dooku's hand rather than the Emperor's hand, but it fits. Usually he would probably have 2 hands with the lightning, and he is just about to throw the Emperor over those railings there, which is pretty awesome. So I absolutely love this thing, I really do. I love the fact that it can be used for multiple scenes. As I mentioned before, you can have it at the very beginning where you've got the Emperor's Royal Guards on either side, and maybe Vader and Luke, you know, just coming out from the elevator, walking over the bridge there. You can kind of have that scene if you've got room to have the Emperor on those steps on the other side. Or you could have Vader battling with Luke Skywalker on that bridge area. You could have Vader, you know, laying down with the arm cut off and using the other piece that you get with the set with the sort of broken railings there. Or you can have it in something similar that I've very, very quickly put together there for you now. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing. It's very, very cool. It's definitely going to go in my display somewhere where I can find a space for it. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How much do you guys get involved with 3D printing? Do you own your own 3D printers, or, you know, do you purchase things off people that are pretty good at this sort of thing, like 3D Pete? As I said, he's got loads of other stuff that you can get, not just Death Star related. There's all sorts going on there, like Yoda's huts and things like that. Really, really cool stuff that maybe Hasbro just are never going to get round to doing. And I actually feel that this is really good quality as well. I'm not too sure about the whole 3D printing process, but I think it actually comes out pretty rough, and they have to like brush it down and sand it down and make it smooth and things like that. And all of this is really, really nicely done. It's definitely something that I think has improved over the last few years, at least since the very first diorama piece that I got in my collection that was 3D printed. It's definitely come a long way, you know, being able to print in different colors and things like that. I never even thought that that was possible. So the fact that it is flipping brilliant, because as I said, for people like me that hate painting, it's just a perfect thing. As I say, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to know what you guys do. Please check out 3D Pete on eBay. Just check out his stuff, see if there's anything you want to pick up. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members. Your support means a great deal to me, so thank you so much. Thank you for the support, and we shall see you on the next one.